I believe now. I believe Arsenal are going to win the league.
Do you?
Yeah, 100%.
You believe they're going to?
Yeah, going to win the league.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look, what I would say is another massive win. It's a game they simply had to win. Imagine you get beat by Everton and City and you drop points against Brentford as well. So you've actually dropped 8 of 9 points. Then you play Aston Villa. You somehow find a way to win. And Mikel Arteta had even said at half-time, this is it, guys. No more talking. We have to win. So you beat Everton. You go back on winning ways. You play the favourites or one of the favourites to get relegated.
Yeah.
You concede a goal in 9 seconds. You're 2-0 down at home, with respect, to Bournemouth. And the team that is your rival is a team that's been winning left, right and centre over the past few years. They don't stop. And they've just put in a really good performance against Newcastle and won. Even a draw now for Arsenal means it's not just in their hands, it's in City's hands as well, because they've got to play each other and they've got a better goal difference. So this is not the game to give up that draw. And again, they found a way. So I'm loving, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm loving watching Arsenal play.
It's incredible.
I think they are incredible. I think as much as I do love Pep Guardiola and the way that he's played and the way his philosophy of his football, I think it would be good for English football. That's not to say it'd be bad for English football if Man City win it, but it'd be good for the Premier League and English football if Arsenal do win it.
Yeah.
And this is not a season-defining win, because I think there's too many over a season. But this is one of what will be a number of games where if they do become champions, they'll look back on this and they say, we turned that 1 point into 3.
I find it incredible what they're doing. Again, you mentioned the Villa game in your little speech there, and it was a speech, by the way, wasn't it? It wasn't a conversation. I couldn't get a word in. But you mentioned the Villa game in there, and to do what they did against Villa, and what was it? When did Jorginho or Emi Martinez own goal? 92nd minute, and then for Reiss Nelson, who's not seen much football this season, to score that goal. He didn't score a tap in.
No,
and he took it so well on his left foot, and then 97th minute, it's written. It's written in the stars.
Well, we were speaking to Keenan a little bit earlier, weren't we? One of the producers here at talkSPORT, our big Arsenal fan, and he never doubted it, even in the 97th minute. And I actually thought when it was 2-0, I thought, I can see them coming back to 2-2, but I don't see them winning it. But again, champions find a way. And for Reiss Nelson I thought he played really well apart from the goal when he came on.
Yeah.
But actually, his first touch wasn't the best. I don't think he'd have chosen for it to be onto his left foot. But the strike was just superb.
So clean.
Wonderful story for him. And the Arsenal juggernaut just keeps going on.
I guess the one negative, and obviously 3 points is a massive positive. The one negative is the injury to Trossard.
Yeah.
I mean, you just signed him. He's come in. He's looked good. I don't know what's going on with Nketiah. Obviously, look, he wasn't part of the matchday squad. So I'm guessing there's an injury there. Jesus isn't back yet. Now Trossard injured, maybe for a few games. Starting to look a bit thin up front. Starting to look a bit thin up top.
Well, again, they haven't got that sort of out-and-out number 9, which is just not quite fit. And Nketiah perhaps not been quite at it in recent games. He's missed some big chances. But I think he's actually played well when he's been playing. But again, you have to then share it around. It's as simple as that.
And that's what they're doing.
What Arsenal can't do, though, is do that against a very good side. Again, with the greatest respect to Bournemouth. And I want to give credit to Gary O'Neill as well. The score after 9 seconds, that obviously was a ploy, an aim to try and do just that. So that's trying to start the game in a positive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're getting to the league leaders. We're not going to sit back. We're not going to do that.
We're going to try and go for it and see if we can nick a goal straight away. And they basically started with 1 goal up because of it. Then to go 2 up as well. But with the greatest of respect, Arsenal cannot do that against the top teams. They will not come back from 2-0 down against the top teams. And again, with the greatest respect to Villa, they're still finding their way under Emery at the moment. But if you do that, and in April, they've got some very, very difficult games, including Manchester City. You go 2-0 down to some of those teams, you're not coming back. But they're finding a way.
Do you think Arsenal...
They're winning the game that's in front of them.
Yeah, but can they do this? I mean, can they claw? And they are clawing results, aren't they? Can they claw their way to the title, as you say, by conceding the goals they're conceding now? Again, 2 against Villa, 2 against Bournemouth. And you're right, if they do play the big teams, they've got to go to Anfield, they've got to go to the Etihad. You can't go 2 down to those clubs, can you?
No, you can't. Look, I mean, Fulham away next
Tough
up.
one.
Yeah,
Tough one.
that's difficult the way that Fulham are playing. And then it's Palace at home. And actually, Man City are playing in the quarterfinals against Burnley. So again, that might be their way of getting an extra 3 points, albeit City having a game in hand.
Yeah.
And it just means that City have a really difficult April because they've got an extra game to play in there. They just have to win the games. Craven Cottage at the moment is a difficult place to go to come away with all 3 points. They have to find a way to doing that. And then April, I think we'll find out by the end of April who's going to win the title.
I guess the scary thing for Arsenal is that they've seen City sort of claw leads back like this, bigger leads, and go on and win. They've done it to Liverpool twice, where you feel like you're away because you're 7 or 8 points clear and you're not safe. Draws aren't enough.
City are not at the fluid style and the way they're playing and winning games and sweeping teams apart in the way that we've seen. And I've spoken to you before about the difficulty of winning 3 consecutive top-flight titles. The three-peat. It's only happened 3 times since World War II. So it's very, very difficult. But with what's happened off the field now with Manchester City, I think the fans, the players, and the business end of the season, Ade, sharpens the mind.
And by the way, have you noticed Phil Foden's starting to really heat up again as well now? Yeah. It's almost like he's a new player they've signed because, let's be honest, I mean, the start of the season after the World Cup, we didn't see much. Now, all of a sudden, starting to score again.
Absolutely. And Arsenal have been superb, and I love watching them play as much as seeing how well they're doing in terms of finding a way to win games. But still, even with 5 points ahead, I cannot say with any certainty that in the way that you have, Arsenal are going to win the title because City, with the last part of the season, are more than capable of going on this winning run. I know they haven't done it much this season, but as I say, I think it's sharpened the mind of what's gone on off the field. I think they are. So Arsenal need to keep that gap because if they do drop any points, then it's also in the hands of City, not just Arsenal.
Yeah, and look, for Arsenal, Europa League kicks in as well. So how are they going to sort of balance that Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Monday?
Yeah, but that's the same for City as well. And I also think...
City have the squad though, don't they?
Well, I see Sporting in the Portuguese league, and actually, for me, they should put them to one side. It shouldn't be a problem, even if he makes lots of changes. He has to make changes. The priority 100% is the Premier League, Ade. And even if somehow they lose to Sporting and get knocked out of the Europa League, which shouldn't happen, I don't see it happening, it's still not the worst thing to have happened, not the biggest disaster. It's all about the Premier League.